In today's Politico briefing, now that the Supreme Court has handed down a ruling in the Arizona immigration law, does that decision mean, what does it mean for Obama and for Mitt Romney's efforts to court Hispanic voters? Joining me now, Politico's editor-in-chief, John Harris. Hey, John, well, this is one of the two big cases we expect this week, and this is has enormous impact for this key constituency, the Hispanic voters. Mitt Romney, the president, both positioning themselves in their immediate reaction. How do you think it plays out?
Well, I think you're quite right, Andrea. It does have a big impact, but that impact is muddled because the decision itself was complex and muddled. Key parts of the law were struck down, but perhaps one of the most alarming, from the perspective of many Hispanic Americans, one of the most alarming provisions was in fact upheld, that Arizona authorities do have the power to look at immigration status when they're making checks and arrests and so forth. And so, I mean, to me, it gives a rallying point for both sides.
Which is one of the big lessons that we should always draw from Supreme Court decisions, because they are rarely, absolutely clear-cut on some of these most complex issues. This is a case in point. That said, we see both sides trying to position on it. The Romney campaign saying that this shows that the president has failed to do comprehensive immigration reform. The president saying that this shows, that we need to get support for congressional action on this kind of thing. Is it a failure of leadership? Is that really going to be the debate?
Well, I mean, I think that's really unquestionably true. We wouldn't be having this argument in the Arizona context if the question of immigration and what to do to stop illegal immigration, what to do about the illegal immigrants already here, if that had been settled in a national context. Now, the question is who is more responsible for that failure of leadership. That's what the debate is going to be about. But this was even referenced by the justices, saying that some of the conservatives saying they are sympathetic to Arizona's position that it had to protect its own sovereignty because the national question, the national role had been abdicated. But a majority of the justices said on balance, this is still a national responsibility, and they weren't going to uphold Arizona trying to be its own sort of immigration authority on its own.
But while USA Today had a poll, the big new Gallup USA Today poll of Latinos showing a better than 2-to-1 advantage in terms of overall support, then they went back in the field after the president did his deportation order, and 82% to 16%, John, overwhelming support in the Hispanic community to the decision by the president to, for at least temporarily, not deport the children of some undocumented immigrants.
I don't think that came as a big surprise to them. I suspect that is one of those policy moves that was well tested in advance of the president making that decision.
John Harris, thank you very much.